How many of you know Runtown, one of the best musicians in Africa ever? Many parents like to make their children avoid bad friends. They caution the kids to cut off from bad associations. But where the parents make mistakes is when they don't help the kids to culture good associations. So when I was a kid, one day we were in school, right? We were still schooling then. So one day my father asked me and said that I should make a list of my best classmates or schoolmates, right? And then that during the holidays we'll go visit them one by one at their houses. So I made the list and got all their addresses during school time. So during the holidays, I started going one by one, and one of them then was Runtown. Okay, he was my schoolmate. So based on the address, my father drove me and my sister, and we went ahead and traced the street, and we got to the front of the house. My father dropped us there, and then left. All right, gave us transport money to go home. We met at their house and everything. Years later, he is one of the greatest musicians in Africa. All right, but that relationship was cultured by my father many years ago. Now, I'm saying this not because of Runtown, but because of parents of nowadays. Don't be too careful to help your children avoid bad associations that you forget to culture the good ones. You know some of their friends that are good. Even if you don't know, you can do what my father did. My father told me to make a list of the good friends. Do you understand? One thing about being young is that a young person has time to try out many things. And if the person is ambitious, they will always find a way. If you know any young person that is ambitious, they will end up in either of three ways: in jail, dead, or rich. I'm telling you. It's easy to predict ambitious people when they're young. It's easy. Now, if you now add intelligence, there was really nothing special about Runtown when we were kids, except for one thing. He had one trait. The guy was the smartest in class. I was not in the same class with him, but he was top of the class back to back. Year after year, he was top of the class. This guy is a genius. You know, people just see him singing now. I believe that singing is just one of the things he can do very well. Do you understand? So I made the list, and looking back at the list I made now, back then, all these people turned out really great. And I was small. I was able to tell by just making a list of people we'll see. So I think you as a parent, you should help to culture positive relationships for your kids. Don't beat the kids into what do you call it, low self-esteem, introvertedness. Many people that are introverts today were not born introverts. It was their parents that cut off all the relationships they had in the guise of cutting off bad relationships. In Igbo language, we have a quote that translates to "Do not throw the baby with the bathwater." You know, when you have a newborn baby and you bathe the child inside a big bowl or bath, whatever, and when you're done, the water is dirty, but the baby is clean. But when you want to throw the water, don't throw away the water with the baby. Okay, you have to separate the clean baby from the water so you can throw away only the water. And this is where most parents make mistakes. In the process of saving the child, they also cut off all the good associations. When I was a kid, I used to go to see my friend. Coming back from school, I would branch and go see my friend. And this friend will go play games, like video games. We'll go to a game house and play games. And one day, one woman came into the game house to get their son. And then she saw me and she knew my parents. She called my parents and said, "Look, I know where your boy is now. He's wasting away in a game house." My mom just drove down and beat the shit out of me there. They beat me that day and beat out every inch of playing games. Till today, I no longer enjoy video games because I was beaten so much that day. But this was my mom trying to rescue me from bad associations. But guess what? Those kids I was playing the games with, they were not bad. They have turned out to be big politicians today. You understand? So, one of the corrections that would have happened was maybe encourage us to have positive associations with each other instead of just wasting our time playing games on the streets. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So sometimes you as a parent, you might be tempted to invest in your children in so many other ways, but then you forget the human relationship investment. You're supposed to culture it. You can tell bad associations, but also you can tell good associations. Sometimes you can tell good people or good friends of your kids that are doing bad things that you can advise and culture. Do you understand? So you have to go out of your way, like my dad did during the break, and try to help your children reconnect with some of the best friends and best classmates outside of school environment. You are laying a very important foundation. And even as an adult, many adults are focused too much on work, making money to survive for the month, and they forget that the best investment you can make today is human association. That guy, that lady that is ambitious, trying to get a master's degree, trying to get this, trying to build this, if you know that they are really ambitious, they're going to succeed. I'm telling you, just give them 10, 15 years. You know, by the time you are topping into your 30s, 40s, 50s, you'll be glad that you met them 10, 15 years ago. Do you understand? Some of the random guys that are trying to join politics today, you know, they might be losing, but if you see them in 10 years, you might be surprised. So you as an adult, you should be able to culture your own relationships. Relationships are very, very important. That somebody is a failure today, it doesn't really mean anything. If they're ambitious, give them time. They will try so many different things and eventually figure it out. Or they end up in jail. Or dead. Now, if this video made any sense to you, right? Make sure you subscribe and follow me. And of course, if you are losing hair, I have this hair cream that I made, Abido Shaker. It helped regrow my hair. I used to be bald, totally bald. I didn't have hair before, but I've regrown my hair. So if you want to regrow your own hair, inbox me, send me a message, and I will tell you the recipe I used. Now, I charge to tell. I don't tell for free, but you can be sure that this recipe, once you apply it on your head, over the course of 3, 4 to 6 months, you will have hair like me.